Hello, my name is Nancy, and I'm making meat pie with Pauline and Gail.
Yeah.
First, I chop an onion. Got about half an onion in there. Make sure it chops down. She's chopping up one onion, and that should be enough for 4 meat pies. We're cheating today, and we're going to use ready-made pie crust because rolling out pie dough takes so long and it's so messy.
Fresh ground pork.
Here's our studio audience.
Yeah,
Look, she doesn't measure it. Oh,
no, it's
God.
about a tablespoon of allspice.
Tablespoon of
That's a good
allspice.
amount.
Per
Okay.
pot.
Yeah.
For 2 pies. We'll salt later, but we put about just a sprinkle of pepper over each one.
Potatoes are cooked.
Yeah.
So they've been cooking the potatoes ahead of time.
5 pounds of potatoes.
Or you can substitute instant potatoes.
You would probably use 2 to 3 cups per pie.
Okay.
And mix with your meat. Depending on the size of the pie pan, an 8-inch pan, probably 2 cups. A 9-inch pan, 3. I just drain the grease, I don't put water in. Brown your meat in the pan with the onions and seasonings. Once it turns brown and it's not pink anymore, you can shut off the heat. And let it sit for a while, and the grease will rise to the top.
We're going to drain the potatoes. So get all the water out.
For the bottom pie crust, we get a ready-made bottom in a pan. For the top crust, we buy the rolled up crust.
All right, we're just going to use a good old-fashioned masher.
Yep. You got some salt?
Yep.
Oops. Okay. Sprinkle in some salt and pepper. That's good. A little bit of butter.
Oh, butter.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so you're going to
Just a little.
mash them up with a little bit of butter. How much butter? Now this is
More than you
maybe a
have.
couple of tablespoons.
This is 5 pounds of potatoes.
A couple of tablespoons of butter. Make sure you don't use the whipper. Just use this
Yeah.
masher because you don't want them to.
If they're too creamy, the pie won't have enough
Right.
body.
Okay.
And we added about 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter. And no milk so far.
milk.
And some salt.
No milk.
How much? Just salt and pepper to
Salt and
taste.
pepper.
Salt and pepper to taste.
So you're measuring it to get
Just
it.
measuring it to make sure we get equal amounts in each batch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, oh.
Quiet on the set.
So is that, you're doing like 2 cups at a
2
time?
cups at a time, 1 for each pot. If you have leftover pie filling when you're finished after making your pies, you can take what's left and put it in a freezer container and just put it in the freezer and save it for another time, and then you can just take it out and make more pies.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're going to preheat the oven to 400 to bake our pies, and we'll bake them until the crust is lightly brown or golden. 45 minutes to an hour. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spoons.
Right in that drawer
We're
there.
all going to
Yeah.
taste.
Studio audience, how do you feel about the taste test?
Yay!
Taste test. Their taste test.
We love taste tests.
Phoebe wants to
More
taste
of
it too.
everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
he needs a spoon.
We probably just
Okay,
need to
so
do that.
our first taste
Yeah.
tester said we need
Alright.
more of everything. So that's kind of how
Okay.
you roll with it.
Do like
So she's going to
Like
do
half a teaspoon more of allspice.
so after taste testing.
And more pepper too, right, Nan?
Yep.
More pepper.
You can go wild on the
I
pepper.
don't taste it.
Wild on the pepper. How about salt? How's
Yeah,
that?
wild on the salt too. The top crust, flatten it out. Dividing the contents of the pot into 2 pie shells. Fill it to the top and kind of smooth it over and just lightly rounded. We don't want it too thick. Lay it over.
That's what I'm not good at, the top crust. I don't know.
Just gotta work fast. There. And what I do is just kind of pat it a little around the edges. And then take a knife, cut off the excess. Put that aside, and then squeeze it down with my thumbs.
I'm trying to mimic my teacher, my mentor.
You're doing a fabulous job.
All right.
Do you think that you will be able to use all that meat?
Oh yes.
Oh.
Looks like
It's all gone.
it's just right. I
Yeah,
think.
just right.
Nice judgment.
And these were
So this was again.
These were 9-inch
This
pies.
was 6 pounds of pork, 5 pounds of potatoes for 4 pies, and
Yeah, 4
they're nice.
9-inch pies.
That turned out good.
I'm scoring the top of the pie to let the steam out. These are steam vents as it bakes, and I'm just cutting in the shape of a Christmas tree, little slash lines. And you can do just about anything you want at this point. You could do a little star or a round for a wreath. We're going to do 4 pies, so we're going to do 2 at one level and 2 at another level. And I'm just going to...
You make that star?
Yeah.
Nancy
Oh, there they go.
For half an hour.
Our oven tends to cook. Does tend to cook a
In
little
30 minutes, we
faster.
want to check it
Okay.
and see how the crusts are, and if the crusts are golden.
400 for 30 minutes. We're going to check that after that.
All right, we're ready to take the pies out. And here's the last one, and that was 35 minutes at 400. Because we're going to put these in the freezer. We're not going to eat them up today.
This is Nancy.
And this is Pauline. And this is how you make
Canadian meat